Everyone, welcome to another episode of Independent Artists Unite Song Series. We have the unique privilege of having Nekomata Shadow and Hex Forms here as a guest, although they are just on audio on this phone. And to try to draw in viewers, I've decided to do the show naked.
I think there's a shocking reason why we're only on audio, Scott. And I was going to tell you, but Casey and I are both dead. If we died a long time ago, and that's
well,
why
I've been dead a few
camera.
times myself, so you're in good company.
So you accidentally connected to us somehow on the other side, and we agreed to do this interview. So here we are.
So anyway, folks, I'm holding up this iPhone close to my microphone here, and this is how we're going to roll today. But guys, I guess talk me through how this collaboration even started, or even how your friendship even started, because it was all over Instagram, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to lead with this, Casey, or do you want me to start?
Please don't put that pressure on me.
Okay. Well,
is it a sordid tale?
It's one of those situations where like we kind of, it's like a lot of people on Instagram, how they meet, they follow each other, and they make comments or whatever.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of a unique situation that we were involved in that I won't talk about, but like, we sort of kind of went from there, and like it just kind of evolved from like a lot of just joking and laughing and a little wine here and there with, the people that we know here, like, it's a fun group of people, but we just started kind of, I don't know, it was about a year ago, I guess, and just kind of hit it off well and just decided we would, we've talked about music for a while. I mean, even from the beginning, she's written lots of songs. I mean, like we both have a lot of songs that we've written, and we've talked, on and off about like, let's combine, and like, hey, and she has some songs she's written and I have some that I wrote. And it just we just kind of decided this song called User Not Found would be like our first song. And we had the subject matter in mind, and we already had the basic like lines for it. And we were singing it and being funny and laughing, and thought we just have to do this song. And
yeah,
so from there,
it didn't feel like work. It really didn't. It just came together.
Yeah, we've laughed so much, like when we're like, a lot of these songs are just, we're laughing our asses off behind the scenes when we're like strategizing, like what they're gonna be about, what the art's gonna be about, and all that stuff. But this one came together, and we just sort of like, I mean, we have a bunch of songs. Casey has a lot of like guitar, bass, synth type song ideas and stuff, and she had this fully synth song that was really cool, and I liked it, and I kind of morphed it into this song called User Not Found, and we just from there decided, let's come up with a cool name, and let's just get the name and publish the song. And really, it's just, it hasn't felt like work. It's just been fun nonstop, so that's important.
Yeah, it really has.
Well, I know.
It's like it keeps us
Oh, go ahead.
going. Every chapter is going to be something new and fun.
Yeah. Well, I know, Josh, you are like a well-oiled machine. You're like pumping out songs all the time. But you had a bit of a break for when you actually put your songs out there, right, Casey?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah.
Was it like, talk about that? Like, I mean, I suppose you started thinking about it, and then you got, you got to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Well, yeah. Back, during the pandemic, I started. That was the first time I started writing, my own songs and lyrics and melodies and whatever. So, I started with that, and it was pretty much like a guitar-driven, shoegaze, and then also some synthesizers and, electronic a little bit, like a shoegaze and dream pop, meets whatever. So like it was just a different, not as dark as not as dark and not as electronic as what we're doing now. But that was kind of what I started in, and then yeah, some personal struggles and things, and I'm just sort of coming back from that. About 4 years ago, I had that brief music career, so I'm just kind of coming back from that.
Yeah, I
Branching
don't know.
out,
I don't
trying
know if you
new
want to get
things.
into that at all, but I just want to say that I find it so inspiring that I find it so inspiring that you have found the like inspiration and motivation and courage really to put yourself out there again in this way. It's I think there's a lot of people that had some bad experiences in the music industry and then just say, ah, fuck it, that's over.
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
It's just a rotten business and it's filled with rotten people.
right. Well, but this community has really, helped me feel like there's a place that's safe to come back to, and people that all the relationships and connections I've made here really mean a lot to me.
Yeah,
And it,
it does to me too. I mean, this community is like, yeah, so many people that I've never seen before in person, but I just have a connection with, and I think it's about, when people put their authentic selves out there, you pick that up, and it's like you can connect with that. Like even the videos you do of like when it's someone else's song, and you could just see the joy that you have, and your love of music, with your
oh, thank you.
dancing around and the imagery and all that stuff. And yeah, you just it's just like I think it really comes across like what a kind and gentle person you are, and also just like your love of music.
Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a well. I used to, I was a visual artist, and I did a lot of. I started drawing when I was very young, just to kind of escape, from a difficult home life, and I just a lot of family situations and moving around, starting, new schools and new cities, all that. So art was always just, and then music, and so the two together. It's like I don't just hear music; I feel it and I see it as well. So I don't know. It's just sort of, if something moves and inspires me to that point, like I want to acknowledge that and hold that space and sort of give back to the artist. And I don't know. I feel like we do a lot of that. We encourage each other and we share things here. It's just it's really nice to be part of a community like that.
Yeah, and I remember in one of your videos you said, "Oh, you can see uh oh, what did you say? You can see theater
Oh, the theater nerd in me.
theater nerd Casey."
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's partly what makes it so fun. So Josh and I have a really good time with, the dramatics.
Yeah, it's I mean when you guys like Josh, when you guys sat down and thought, okay, we're doing this, like how did it develop in terms of, because it is kind of like theater, with Casey's like
Yeah.
spoken word and with your soundscapes and everything. Did
Yeah.
that click right away, or was that something you guys found
Yeah.
over time?
Well, I'll address that, but first, just to piggyback on what you said earlier about to Casey, she's a treasure, just a great, one of the best human beings that I've ever met, and it's been a real, it's been a great friendship and a wonderful creative partnership, and I can't, it's great. So let me say, as far as our creative process and how do we do like come up with stuff or whatever, like, so we are always spinning our wheels, and we're always talking about things and concepts and topics, and we want to evolve. Like we don't just want to like kind of do the same thing every time. And so we like to talk about like, okay, so what about if it's like, okay, so user not found has a very specific subject matter, but our songs are they're kind of generic, like as far as they're not about specific people or specific situations. They might be inspired by some real life events, but they're really not,
you can apply them to anything. Yeah.
Yeah, you can interpret them however you want, and they deal with like core themes of like revenge or like a lot of supernatural type stuff or whatever. But we kind of just go by the seat of our pants in a lot of cases. I mean, it's like day to day. We'll just talk, and like in the morning, maybe Casey will find some really cool stuff that she thinks might be good subject matter for a video, and we'll sort of both start generating art assets that we might want to use, and we'll bounce stuff back and forth and say, how about this? And then she might make a reel, or I might make a reel, or well, like I'll work on part of the song, and then she'll like it really is a collaborative effort at all times, and we're always on the same page. And like it has to be fun, and it has to be something that we're enthusiastic about, or else it's just not worth it. So like it's really just, we come up with concepts, and we like to kind of make a show out of it. It's like we want to make it kind of a circus, and we want it to be dramatic, and we want to catch eye catching or whatever. And so we just kind of, I don't know, we just come up with fun ideas, and then we try to execute on that. And that's from like the songs themselves. We come up with like we actually talk about the song. We say, okay, this song is going to be about this concept, and here's how we're going to execute it. And and so it's a lot of talking, but it's not work. It's just us kind of, I don't know, just talking, joking, and figuring stuff out, creating stuff. And we're both very equally involved in like pretty much every step. I mean, so it's both of our visions, but we're both on the same page. So it's rare that I want to do something and she just doesn't want to, or vice versa. I mean, we're pretty much in sync on all of it, so it works out pretty well.
Yeah, it really does. It's almost like one of us will kind of start pulling on a thread, and an idea comes along, and then it's like every part of the process, we kind of go back and forth and get approval, and so that when the end result isn't a surprise, except for maybe that one one time, the one that didn't get posted or got deleted or whatever. But yeah, other than that, like we've always been on the same page,
Well, it's like you guys really created like a unique world, I think, with the spoken word thing, and like the dark soundscapes, and it really, and that combined with your visuals is just like a cool little world.
Yeah, well, we got to really branch out with the newer songs. They're very different than the others.
Yeah, I'll say that what you see is like kind of there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So like we always have a lot more behind the scenes that we're like sort of fleshing out and trying and bouncing back and forth. But yeah, it's a fun creative process for sure.
And now, Casey, well, Josh talked a little bit about the themes of revenge and supernatural and stuff. We have a question from our friend in Australia.
Okay.
Of what did it mean, the lyric, or you can talk in general terms, of course, like you don't control me anymore, and the predator has become the prey. That piqued our Australian friends' interest.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's sort of, um, just grabbing the bull by the horns and flipping the script, so no longer running from, what what you fear or what people fear, or what society fears, but going towards it, and confronting it and challenging it. You know, it does remove the power once you know, you take it on that way anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just all about karma and uh, like the energy sort of resetting of the energy.
And how that might even translate to longer prison sentences for certain people.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, forever. But I will say that this is an example of Casey sort of like doing her thing and taking the bull by the horns, because I originally sort of had a vision for what the story of that song would be, and that it was basically this person lived thousands of years ago and they saw me in their visions in a crystal ball or in smoke or whatever, and when they died, their spirit roamed the earth and waited for me to come back. And she slowly took over my body. And then finally I died and I'm a prisoner in my own body. And it's a really tragic, dark thing. But Casey was like, no, fuck that. Let's make this about revenge. And like, I'm not going to be the one that gets taken over by this beast. I'm going to take over myself. And so she made it like a girl power revenge sort of thing. So it worked out really well.
Yeah, Casey is basically a superhero.
He is.
Yeah, I had to take my autonomy back for that one. But hey, it worked out. I think it brought the new energy to it. So.
Well, you know how some actors they have like the contracts say that you can't make me lose a fight or ever or whatever, and so it was like that. She was like, "No, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be the victim in this story. You're going to make me the hero."
That's funny.
And what like talk about your process with the lyrics, Casey, because I was interested when I thought I was like picturing you as kind of like a poet, writing poems in a graveyard somewhere, but you're actually like you just like channel things a lot right on the spot, right?
Yeah, well,
I'm glad you said it that way. Go ahead.
Some things Josh had written down, and he gives me the idea, and like he sets the backstory. But then it's like, I guess maybe it is the theater nerd in me. I just take it and do what what I know, and just kind of like immerse myself into, that role or that mindset, and then just lose myself in the instrumental of it, and then see where it's just like I just kind of, it's almost like you're just high, but you just tune in, and then it just comes out, and sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't.
And she does this very fast, right, Josh, as I understand?
Yeah, when it happens, it's hard to make that connection, but when it happens, it's pretty fast. Yeah, it comes through fast.
Yeah, she's fast. I mean, like Scott Baker Graham fast. She's that fast sometimes. But like, she definitely. These are two people that can turn around and get vocals done quickly. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's like, yeah, we come up with the general idea and we strategize, and like I'll just pull some stuff out of my ass and like say, hey, here's some lines that sound kind of dark and edgy, and then she'll come up with some stuff, and then we just flesh it out. And some of our like the best lines are stuff that she came up with, like the predator becomes the prey and the you've lost control of me, and those were like things that where she changed the direction that I sort of kind of thought was like, so it's really good. Like it's really neat how it works out.
Yeah, I know we have that in common, Casey, about doing things quickly, but it's like I don't know how it is for you, but it's like if you're inspired and something hits, then it's like
you gotta strike while the iron's
yeah,
hot.
just strike while the iron's hot and let it rip,
Otherwise you might lose it. Yeah. I mean, it happens to be in the shower, just wherever. So Yeah. It's never convenient.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it is cool. It's cool to be able to, and I think when you're really inspired and you can create fast because it doesn't feel like work. So it's cool. And
Yeah,
and
And thanks for giving us that imagery, Casey, of Casey in the shower, grooving to the dark synths and spouting poetry.
well,
It's that
thank you.
Yes.
Personal hygiene is important, and it's good to be a role model. And so
Yeah, and you know, it's better than some places one could find themselves. That's for sure.
yeah, I mean, there are
That's
places
true.
where you have to share. There are places where you have to share showers with a lot of people, and it's probably not comfortable. So,
And I live in one of them. My fall from grace.
The acoustics in that shower are probably good for vocals, like
Yeah.
But anyway,
And then you have the possibility of backing vocals right away with other people.
Those shower harmonies are just something, I'll tell you.
Oh my God, we're almost reaching the end here, people. I just got notified by Zoom that we're done, only have how many minutes left? 7 minutes
we only
left.
got through one question. At least we answered it.
Was that only one question?
Right?
Well,
I thought we talked a lot.
Take control, Scott. You're the master. You're the pro here. You can tell Zoom to kiss your ass and tell you you're going to stop when you feel like stopping.
No, I mean it's I think we talked a lot about a lot of good stuff. I mean, what's coming? What's next for Nekomata
So we're
Shadow?
gonna get back to the electro stuff, but yeah, the EP we kind of sidetracked on that and got a lot of emotion out of it, into it. Yeah.
Yeah, we have the EP was like sort of this dark poetry, sort of improvisational, not really, kind of, but it was very different. But we have two songs that are like hard industrial type songs, and those are going to be what I pivot to like next week. Got to finish an EP for this other person, and like we're getting work some other things in here, and we have the original song that Casey wrote that is the basis for Using It Found. We're going to include that because our original demo, like let's see how this sounds, was done with her song that she had actually written. So I want to include that as like, because it's and we have a handful of like electronic stuff. Casey has some like guitar and synth sort of based songs and we're going to take one of those and we're going to like rework it, and I'm going to give it sort of my hex forms spin or whatever. But I don't know.
Another paranormal theme with that one too. Yeah. So yeah, Ghosts of Yesterday.
And I just want to say, Josh, that you are like so prolific. I mean, it's you do a lot of collabs with different people, and you're also someone that's like really in the creative flow. And you hold down a day job as well, right?
Yeah, I do. And
do you sleep ever?
I do sleep, and I do sleep, but like it's just you got to create while you can. Basically, I mean, I like the legendary Pink Dots, and they have this saying "Sing while you may," and they put that on like almost all of their albums, and that's a good philosophy that I like. Just create while you can, like just while there's daylight, like do it. Like so, yeah, you just got to keep on trucking and just keep putting stuff out. So anyway,
yeah. Can I say something to the fans and just to everybody out there?
Of course.
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody in the community for the embracing and welcoming our project that we just started, and it's much appreciated and it's exciting, and yeah, we can't wait to bring you guys the new songs, and then there's also going to be another track I'm going to be doing vocals on soon this week, which is called Unstable.
oh hell yeah. I'm very excited about that.
Look forward to. Yeah.
It's going to be a banger. Can't wait.
Oh,
Well-
and also I just have one more word for
Oh, yeah.
like I just wanted to say to all the people out there who are, you know, fellow supporters and you know, who are maybe living in this country or going through some of the things that we're dealing with right now. You know, just wanted to say you're not alone, and you know, yes, the Diddy verdict was not the greatest news, and anyway, you know, I just want to give hugs out to everybody out there who's struggling right now, whether it be from, you know, what we've discussed or any of these cuts or immigration things, you know, everything. My heart goes out to everybody out there that's dealing with this, as we are too, you know. So
Yeah. It's dark times in many ways. But
yeah, it's the time to make art, though. That's for sure.
yeah, it's a time to make art, and it's also a time where the light people or light workers become very obvious. So you can find your light tribe. It's also it's a paradox to find your light tribe in a dark music community, but that's what I feel like I found.
Let me add a note.
Kind of like the dark versus the light, or vice versa, right?
Exactly.
Let me add a note on this theme. And Casey and I both, and this might sound silly, but Casey and I both believe that magic is real, and we both believe that you can execute magic through music and art. And I know that might sound cheesy, but we are deadly serious about it. And like one of my little philosophical ideas or lines is that music should be dangerous. And I really like this concept. And so Casey and I definitely believe that magic is real and that you can do it through music and art. And that's what we try to do with our songs. And I know that sounds, feel free to laugh or scoff at it or whatever, but like it gets to this.
No, I believe it too. It's like casting spells, you know, or manifesting. You know, it's like you have to say the words. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. So that, you know, that's just part of it. It kind of ties into this what you guys were talking about.
Yeah. Well, more power to you guys, and love you both. And thank you for this is the strangest episode ever of Independent Artists Unite Song Series. So congratulations.
Wow, that's impressive.
But it just goes to show you there's always a way. There's always a way.
It can always get weirder, Scott.
And maybe I didn't have to appear naked for this episode, but I just thought I'd do it anyway. All right. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Talk to you soon.